friends or didn't like them. As a child, I loved them. But as I got older, I was terrified of bugs. But now I've been working on these farms and being with my sisters on these farms and in these gardens, no longer am I afraid. I pick up an earthworm like I was when I was a child. Now learning what that earthworm does to keep that, to let you know that soil is rich. All praises due to my girl Aisha for teaching me that. That's how you know that that soil's rich, when you start seeing them earthworms, especially them fat, juicy ones. You know what I'm saying? So we talking about this cycle of life. We talking about this transformation today. We are talking about why they ain't like us. They not like us. This is the topic. Since the beef with our brothers, this is the topic. They not like us. What does that mean? What does that really mean? Islam? So tonight, that's what we will be talking about here on this live. I would love for you to chime in, join in, use your five senses. Everyone use your five senses who is able to do so. Because we need guiders of the nation. Not one guider, we need guiders. When the prophet brought this information, it was for each and every person to find that Messiah within themselves. Go out and teach this holy breath to the people. He didn't call one. He needs all of us collectively to make this thing happen. To go out and teach the truth. All these lies and fabrications that people want to talk about. Let's talk about the truth. But the truth does have to start with you. You have to find the truth within yourself. You have to start being very honest with yourself when walking this walk and walking this journey that we walk, this healing journey that we all talk about. It really gets you in tune with yourself. It really gets you to know you. That's if you really want to get to know you. You know what I'm saying? But here in the More Science Temple of America, when you're asked what to study, yourself. And you might have well went and did all that. You might go back to Allah and say, what should I study? Yourselves. Because you got two selves. You got these two selves that we're in, and we're in this 8 year of as above, so below. So these two selves is really showing themselves. These two selves are showing themselves. Whether good or bad, they are showing themselves in balance. They truly are. They're showing themselves in what it's supposed to be. So why I chose tonight's topic, that they're not like us, because they're not. The prophet even said, only a few of you will be saved. He said he'll still have fingers to count. They're not like us. Because they might speak like you, because they might talk like you, because they might teach like you. Doesn't mean that they're like you. Some of us are picked out very special. We were picked out from this crop. We were picked. We were personally picked, carefully examined. Because the heart means a lot. To find a pure heart, to get into a body that has a pure heart. Not the easiest thing to look for, right? But spirit can find it. We might not can see it in these forms that we're in, but spirit can truly find it. So we're in this 8 year in really understanding and getting to know ourselves. To really know ourselves. Not know you because your name and you know your birthday and your mama and your daddy. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about truly getting to know ourselves. In the depths of who we are. So we're going to get this meeting started. I'm a little late, but we're about to get in. Islam. All meetings are to be opened and closed promptly according to the Circle 7 and love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Can we all stand as we recite our Moorish American prayer? I'm going to sit because I'm speaking with you guys, but symbolically, I'm turning to the east. That means going within. So still to go within, you got to know how to go within. Even if your body can't turn to the east, learn to go within. We put up 5 fingers on the left. We put up 2 on the right. With our heels touching one another, standing on our square. Repeat after me. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Amen. Islam. Islam. I would like to rise and give the highest praises to our Father God Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Also, Allah, the mother of the virtues, and the harmonies of life that breeds justice, mercy, love, and right. I give honors to mother and father. It's a balance with everything, good and evil, however you want to put it. It's a balance. So mother and father gets well honored over here. Islam, Islam. I would like to rise and give holy high honors to our illustrious and divine prophet, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, who brought us this message of love. Islam. I would like to rise and give honors to all the divine prophets that were brought before us and for all the wonderful works that they brought unto us. Islam. I would like to rise and give honors to the forerunner to our prophet, who was like John was to Jesus. He said many things. One was, the pen is mightier than the sword, but the tongue is mightier than them both. And that is our brother Marcus Mosiah Garvey Bey. Give him his Moorish attributes. Islam. I give honors to the complementary to our prophet, and that is Sister Pearl Drew Ali. I give honors to all the grand sheiks, supreme grand sheiks, grand sheikesses, grand governesses, sheikesses, all throughout the Moorish movement, whether consecrated, appointed, anointed, any of it. I give honors to each and every one of you. I give honors to all the Moorish Americans throughout the movement, all Moorish Americans that are not even in the movement. I'm still going to honor you too. And I honor each and every one of you that are on these platforms here tonight, because you could be anywhere, but you decided to be here. Islam, Islam, Islam to each and every one of you on here tonight. We got to get our house cleaning done, of course. So we got rules. With any organization, you got some rules. You got to follow them. They put your character in line. That's why we read these acts. We read these constitutions. I always say each person should create a constitution for themselves. It's just helping you learn how to be accountable for you. So if you could tell yourself how to act in each one, what that looks like, make yourself a constitution. Islam, salvation, Allah, unity, the Moorish Science Temple of America, the divine constitution and bylaws. Act 1, the Grand Sheikh and the chairman of the Moorish Science Temple of America is empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the Prophet and the Grand Body of the Moorish Science Temple of America. The assistant Grand Sheikh is to assist the Grand Sheikh in all affairs if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And it is known before the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Act 2. All meetings are to be open and closed promptly according to the Circle 7. And love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Friday is our holy day of rest, because on a Friday the first man was formed in flesh, and on a Friday the first man departed out of flesh and ascended unto his Father God Allah. For that cause, Friday is the holy day for all Muslims all over the world. Act 3. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all members of the Moorish Temple of America. No member is to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister, on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister, because Allah is love. Act 4. All members must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all members must obey the laws of the government, because by being a Moorish American, you are a part and parcel of the government and must live the life accordingly. Act 5. This organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not empowered to cause any confusion. This organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are a part and parcel of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, color folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained noble Drew Ali, the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and parcel of all uplifting acts of the Moorish Science People of America. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become a part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, through the guidance of his Father God, Allah. Noble Drew Ali, founder. The Moorish Science Temple of America, home office of Noble Drew Ali, Chicago, Illinois, USA. Islam. Now for the additional laws for Moorish Americans by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Act 1. The Grand Sheikh is the governing head of our temple. All business of said temple must be approved by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali before being acted upon by any member. Let it be finance, property, or any line of life that will cause the member to sacrifice finance, that will cause the support of any group of members. Any former officer that violates these laws is subject to be removed from his office under a heavy restriction, etc., by the Prophet or the Grand Sheikh. Act 2. All members are to attend their ADAB meetings and their public meetings promptly. If a member is found standing around on their meeting period, shall be fined 50 cents on the first case, and on the second he will be fined $1, which will go on your emergency fund. If member is working, his monthly dues must be paid, and if he has money in the bank, he must subscribe for as much as he is able to the Moorish Uplifting Fund, because it takes finance to uplift the nation. Act 3. It is the lawful and divine duty of every good member, if he is able in finance, to aid me in saving the nation. And if he does not, he is an enemy to the cause of uplifting his own people, and justice must catch you. Let it be he or she according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, as I have the power invested in my hands, and I will have to enforce the law in order to save the nation. Act 4. All members, while up making a public speech, must not use any assertion against the American flag or speak radical against the church or any member of any organized group, because we are to teach love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Act 5. All members must promptly attend their meetings and send their children to Sunday school, and the teacher must confirm himself to the questionnaire. And let every member exercise his 5 senses who is able to do so, because out from your Sunday school comes the guiders of the nation. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are a part and parcel of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Ali, the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and parcel of all uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become a part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, through the guidance of his father God, Allah. Islam, 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 Islam family, Islam. Tess El Bay, thank you for the love and the hearts. I really appreciate you. I really do. Islam, Islam, Islam. Islam, Sister Leonette, Islam. So, yes, tonight we are talking about they not like us. They not like us. They not like us. Truly. You have to really understand what that even means. So I just talked to y'all about our acts, our constitution, and bylaws, right? So first I wanted to read this to you guys. This is something I got when I first came into the movement of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science. The old rugged cross. And what is that emblem around your neck? What is the meaning of it? And what is the history of it? If you know. Am I to understand that you love the instrument upon which your Jesus was hanged, tortured, and murdered according to your adopted religion? Am I to understand that you kneel before and pray towards an instrument that brought great suffering, bloodshed, and finally death to one who you profess to love? You mothers and fathers who have had sons die in battle, do you also have a picture of a rifle, bomb, or knife on your walls? Would you love a weapon used to murder a loved one? Then how could you love the Jesus of your adopted religion and love the symbol of death and the instrument of death put together by the European enemies of Jesus for the purpose of killing him? How can this be? Are you not double-minded in this? Know you not that the cross represents the animal carnal self? Know you not that the cross represents Nimrod, Saturn, Satan, and the world of material existence? Yeah. And this cross is a symbol for the nations of Europe, and your enemy knows that I speak what is true. The cross had its beginning in an ancient Egypt and first appeared under the name of the Ankh. The name of the Ankh. Y'all see this? That has Mayat on it, balance, because she was here before that even popped off, before this cross popped off too. The Ankh. The Ankh had a dual meaning and was composed of an upper circle connected to a cross. The circle above the cross represented the head of man, and the lower cross represented body. The Egyptians believed that man was composed of two contrary spirits. Remember I said, as above, so below. You have two selves. Two selves. Islam, the mother. Islam. You have two selves. The Egyptians believed that man was composed of two contrary spirits. The higher divine spirit was represented by the circle, and the lower cross represented the animal part of man. Joined together, the combined meant everlasting life. We find this belief displayed in the Sphinx, a statue of a man's head attached to the body of a lion, and the statue of the pagan god Horus, a statue of a man's head attached to the body of a bird. We can even look at my sign as a Sagittarius and see it's a man, it's an archer with the body of a horse. Islam? When the barbarian nations, Anglo-Saxons, Jutes, Armenians, Ostrogoths, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, Visigoths, Burgundians, and Franks were driven out of the holy city of Mecca and out of Egypt 12,640 years ago. They worshiped the lower animal qualities of man and adopted a symbol like unto the Ankh, but with the head cut away. And this was the beginning of the present day cross. So what you worship when you bow down before the present day cross is the animal of carnal part of man, and none but the devil teaches that man should follow his animal, carnal, immoral, headless, non-thinking nature. See, you not See, you not how you have been misled. You do not know how you've been misled. That's what it should say. For the devil receives life through the immoral, headless, non-thinking people who follow their animal nature. This is Brother Ibram Khalil Ullah. But when you really think of it, it's so true. Because we could go to our 101s and it talks about when was the head of Satan taken off. Right? As it said, the head gone. The head gone, the body gonna follow, correct? The head gone, the body will follow. So when it talks about Satan in number 82 in our 101s, it's we'll go to I'm gonna go to 78, and it says these were the last words Jesus uttered. What were the last words Jesus uttered? It is finished. What did he have reference to? He had reference to the end of Satan. Did Jesus say that he would return to conquer him? Yes. Okay, I'm gonna go to 82. Was Satan to be bound then? Satan was to be bound in part. When was the head of Satan taken off? In 1453, Byzantine. By who? Muhammad. So heads keep getting taken off around this bad boy. The head of the cross got taken off. The head of Satan got taken off. Like, things are being wiped away. So we've lost through that. Through not even realizing what it stands for and giving so much praise to this. But we got to even understand that this mother energy is so important. Because mother is great. Without your mother, you can't even operate. Your body, you wouldn't even have been able to breathe if it wasn't for your mother. When she pushed you out to bring you into this world, you got life. You were able to breathe. That was a blessing. So when our sisters ain't being respected, your mother's not being respected, it's like you took the head off. You took her head straight off. And maybe that's why there is no respect. And you can only see the father and the son and look at mother as this ghost of a person. When without her being the teacher and all of these things to you, you wouldn't even be who you are. She gave you a body and took care of it till you could take care of it yourself. So when I'm talking about they not like us, that higher self, that Lord say, hey, if that's where you want to be, if that's what you like to dabble in, but they not like us in the higher essence. They are the shadow of our lower selves and will pass away. They're not like us. Even when they look like they share our same complexion, that don't mean they anything like us. They can show up in turbans and fezzes. That doesn't mean anything. What's your heart say? Because they not like us. That heart tells everything. Faithful is a real thing in this thing. Being faithful. Faithful to yourself first. I seen a post where it said that self-love was demonic. I didn't understand that at all, because you got to learn to love yourself before that can reflect out anywhere else. If you ain't even learned how to love yourself, and I mean love yourself through your worst self, in your worst position, at your lowest, and that's the problem. Maybe you didn't learn to love from mama, and that's where the teaching first starts, is with us, y'all. No matter where our mindsets are, how we're thinking, what our mood is, we give that to the baby, and daddies, y'all give it to them too. So if you run in the street drinking all the time, doing your thing, thinking that's the cool thing, and it's not affecting that baby, it is affecting that baby. Your actions affect that baby just as much as the mother. It's just we're more in tune because we're carrying that seed with us. We have to rise into this higher essence of who we are. That's why we don't recognize who we are. That rugged cross told you that. The old rugged cross. It told you that. And when we dishonor our forefathers and foremothers, our ancestors, it's like we took their head off. We just cut their head off and just let their bodies follow with it. Die off. Die off, totally. Islam. So, when I say they not like us. But who is us? Who is the us? Who are we? Who are we? There are so many signs around us right now that are getting our attention, whether it's the weather, whether it's the northern lights, whether it's the cicadas. There is things that's happening in nature that's getting your attention. It needs you to shift your thinking, because let me tell you something, the shift is here. And if you don't shift, you're probably gonna self-destroy, self-destruct. That's what it ended up happening. But you're gonna have to get on to this speed of this thing. You don't have a choice. As many people keep thinking that they're gonna have a choice to stay in this thing, you're only gonna cause yourself more hurt than anything. Because you have ones that are here, that 144 that comes here to help out the rest of the people didn't come to play with nobody. They didn't come to play, and they're not leaving you. So no matter what it's going to take, if it means shake you, kick you, whatever it is that we got to do, this is what's going to happen. Because we are the children of light and love. Islam, Sister Leonette, we are the children of light and love. They not like us. They not like us. Kendrick couldn't have said it best. And if you pay attention to these lyrics that he's saying, the way he's exposing things, stop thinking it's just a beef toward one person. He's exposing other things if you even know what's going on. But a lot of y'all don't, because a lot of y'all ain't been in the industry. Y'all want to play to be in the industry, but y'all ain't been in this industry. I have truly been in this industry. Behind the scenes, and have worked behind the scenes of many things. Always wondering why I didn't get to a certain point. I wasn't willing to give my give my soul up. I'll give my life as a willing sacrifice for my people on some stuff like this. But for some worldly stuff, like the old rugged cross said, for that animal spirit stuff, I'm cool. I'm cool on the carnal self stuff. I'm cool on all that. The nice cars, the bling, the bags, the shoes, the clothes. I'm not into none of that. I'm really not. I want to be able to be in my higher self. Make sure that circle stays. That light that I carry stays in a circle around my head, that it don't open up. Because once this circle is closed, it's a wrap. It's not opening back up for nobody. Islam, it's not opening back up for nobody. Just like when Noah had the ark. Once the doors was closed, then folks want to wait till the last minute because they've been preparing you. They've been telling you what you need to do. You wanted to wait till the last minute because you didn't believe nobody. Your people come and deliver you this message, or maybe you didn't want to listen to Noah because he was the town drunk. But then when it all came down to it, now your butt trying to get up in the door. Once the door is closed, the angels took the key and they ain't bringing it back. The same thing happens with this circle 7. And the fire is here. Whether Moors want to talk about it or not, you can't put on no more. The fire here. And the door, the circle is about to be closed very soon. Sooner than you think. The cicadas might close the circle out, to be honest with you. When you're looking at the way that they moving and the time that they have come, 221 years. That's a 5. That's freedom. Freedom. 221 years ago, them cicadas came up in, as they're coming up now. There's only 2 broods of them. There's 2 of them, right? But they each live a different life cycle. They each have a different life cycle. And the cicadas are all in. I can't wait to get back to Georgia. I want to hear. I want to hear them making the noise because I never appreciate that before. They have different life cycles that only emerge in the same year every 221 years. Yes, every 221 years. A prophet comes to deliver a message to the people to save them from themselves. But do the people listen? They don't. They rather party, get it going, go get the bag, stand on business, and all these things that they say. But baby, attention is being brought to y'all right now. In so many ways that you have to pay attention. See, our ancestors paid attention to the nature. They paid attention to the cosmos. They listened to the way things move. They watched the birds. I got to see dodo birds since I've been here in Colorado. I had forgot about the dodo bird. Oh, the most beautiful bird. They're adorable. But you forget, or you're not paying attention to even see what's around you. But nature be speaking to you. Nature's even showing you what this is all about. Are you listening? Are you going to let this circle close out on you? A lot of people will. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. Islam, because they don't want to hear you. Now, I bet if I came out here and I was weaved down to here, all this out, some showing y'all got on some red bottoms with the bag, stacks of cash around me, face beat, lashes out to the gods, you would listen. But when someone comes to deliver you a message to help you through your mess, because you don't understand when this circle closes and the things are going on that'll be going on, it won't be none of that. It won't be no saving. It's over with. It's over with. That's what these messages be about. It ain't about to convince you or any of that. But bruh, are you gonna wait to the last minute? Islam married to mama, married to mama. Mama Weatherspoon in the house. You know what I'm saying? So what are we doing? Our people, if they're showed up with a beat face on a photo shoot, rapping with their body parts out, everybody wants to listen. But John came as a hermit. He had on the skin of the animals. He probably didn't smell so well. And nobody heard him when he was trying to prepare them to meet their king. They didn't hear him. Y'all think all this is falsified and it is a fairy tale. And then when it pop off in spirit, because you was looking for a person, and it pops off in spirit, and you start seeing the destruction around you, you're going to realize this ain't about a person. Islam, it ain't about a way the person look or who this person is to come and deliver you this message. Grab the message though. And if you don't think the message is the truth, why don't you research the stuff before you put any kind of, there's plenty of research and history out here about who we really are as Moors. Was way here, way before Columbus got over here, decided to discover whatever he discovered. The Moors were already here. Go back and start researching your old maps, doing things like that. You ain't got to believe me. Do your own research. All y'all with all these degrees and y'all so smart. As soon as someone comes and delivers you a message about yourself, nobody wants to do no research. Now everybody's dumbfounded. But you didn't have no problem to go jump through those hoops for them folks to give you that piece of paper. You can't jump through the hoops to find out who you are. They not like us, y'all. They not like us. They not like us. Not at all. Islam. So I'm coming out of chapter 47. I want to read from chapter 47 because now we can understand how we got here. This is how we got here. So first we're going to go Egypt, the capital empire. Egypt, comma. So we still going. The capital empire of the Dominion of Africa. Peep that. That's the title. Islam. This is from the divine instructions from the Holy Prophets. This is in our circle 7, chapter 47. 1. The inhabitants of Africa are the descendants of the ancient Canaanites from the land of Canaan. 2. Old man Cush and his family are the first inhabitants of Africa who came from the land of Canaan. His father Ham and his family were second. Then came the word Ethiopia, which means the demarcation line of the dominion of Amexem, the first true and divine name of Africa. Amexem, the first true and divine name of Africa. The dividing of the land between the Father and the Son. Islam. The dominion of Cush, northeast and southeast Africa, and northwest and southwest was his father's dominion of Africa. In later years, many of their brethren from Asia and the Holy Lands joined them. You hear that? In later years, many of their brethren from Asia and the Holy Lands joined them. Now, y'all remember where it says you were. We gonna go back. His father Ham and his family were second. Then came the word Ethiopia, which means the demarcation line of the dominion of Amexem, the first true and divine name of Africa, the dividing of the land between the Father and the Son. Amexem, America, Amexem, right here. Hold up. That's what that's saying to us right there, y'all. And in later years, many of their brethren from Asia and the Holy Lands joined them. The Moabites from the land of Moab, who received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt to settle and inhabit northwest Africa, northwest Amexem. They were the founders and are the true possessors of the present Moroccan Empire, with their Canaanite, Hittite, and Amorite brethren who sojourned from the land of Canaan, seeking new homes. Their dominion and inhabitation extended from northeast and southwest Africa across Great Atlantis, even unto the present North, South, and Central America, and also Mexico and the Atlantis Islands before the great earthquake. Before that great earthquake, which caused the great Atlantic Ocean. If y'all go back and look, I'm going to get to the point where I can bring my stuff on the screen, because these old maps where they telling you that the South was up, is showing you the South in the opposite direction. But as you start looking at the way these maps are and the way the landmass is, you can push it. If you know how to do puzzles, you can push this mug into a puzzle and see this right here popping off. You can see this going on, literally. Looks like a puzzle. All you gotta do is push it together and see how it fits. Well, maybe you didn't play with puzzles growing up, but I had to, because you need to learn how to, do some things. Make the brain work. Islam. So that happened with which caused the great Atlantic Ocean. The river Nile was dredged and made by the ancient pharaohs of Egypt in order to trade with the surrounding kingdom. Also, the Niger River was dredged by the great pharaoh of Egypt in those ancient days for trade, and it extends eastward from the river Nile, westward across the great Atlantic. It was used for trade and transportation, y'all. It was used for trade and transportation, the river Nile. According to all true and divine records of the human race, there is no Negro, black, or colored race attached to the human family. They not like us. If you still calling yourself them things, they not like us. It's what Kendrick's saying. They not like us. They not like us. If you're still deluding to these names of slavery, if your mindset is still in the mind state of slavery, you not like us. They not like us. That's why y'all getting this whole beef wrong, because they not like us. According to all true and divine records of the human race, there is no Negro, black, or colored race attached to the human family, because all the inhabitants of Africa were and are of the human race, descendants of the ancient Canaanite nation from the holy land of Canaan, which your ancient forefathers were. You and me, what your ancient forefathers were, you are today without a doubt or contradiction. You are today without a doubt or contradiction. So when we talk about coming up out of Egypt on that Mayat, 42 laws of Mother Mayat, but they took her head off to give you that cross, you need to understand you are your forefathers. Your ancient forefathers. You are today without a doubt or contradiction. Without a doubt or contradiction, you are still them. Islam. And when you deny it, that's the biggest sin you could do, is deny your forefathers. and give all this glory and accolades to somebody else's forefathers that look nothing like you, because they not like us. They not like us. There is no one who is able to change man from the descendant nature of his forefathers unless his power extends beyond the great universal creator, Allah himself. There's no one who is able to change man from the descendant nature of his forefathers. So when they gave you black, Negro, and color, they thought that was changing you. It might have changed your name, but it didn't change your descendant nature of who your forefathers are and who they were. And you're them today without a doubt or contradiction. These holy and divine laws are from the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, the founder of the uniting of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science. These laws are to be strictly preserved by the members of all the temples. Of all the temples. And when he said of all the temples, he put a comma. It's a comma right there. So that didn't mean he was talking about all of us, each and every one of us, whether you call yourself MSTA Inc., MSTA, whatever you want to call it, national movement, temples, comma. Then it says of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, that they will learn to open their meeting and guide it according to the principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Every subordinate temple of the Grand Major Temple is to form under the covenant of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and create their own laws and customs in conjunction with the laws of the Holy Prophet in the Grand Temple. I, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, was sent by the great God Allah to warn all Asiatics of America. All Asiatics of America. That includes you so-called AKA black folks, AKA Negro, AKA colored, AKA African American. This includes you too. You're Asiatic. They can't change the spirit man. You sure can't. You can't change spirit man. You can change this carnal flesh all you want to. Add to it, take away from it. But what you can't change is the spirit of a man. You can't change that descendant nature. You can't change it. No matter how you do it. You can't do it. It's not happening. So, when he brought this, he warned all the Asiatics of America to repent from their sinful ways before the great and lawful day which is sure to come. I just told y'all that circle about to close. Y'all can think this a game if you want to. When the circle closes and then you wonder why you don't see those that you used to see, or you can't connect with those that you used to connect with, please understand the circle has closed. They not like us. There will be a separation here. There will be a separation. There will be a separation. They not like us. The time has come when every nation must worship under its own vine and fig tree, and every tongue must confess his own. Every tongue must confess his own. Your mama can't stand up for you. She can't say, well, because I'm his mama and I did all these wonderful things. Forget not. You're going to have to handle that on your own, bruh. I tell my children that all the time. No matter all the great things I could have did for anybody, that's not going to excuse what your life is. You gotta answer for your own self. So you're going to have to worship under your own vine and fig tree and confess your own. Can't nobody do that for you. Your wife can't. Your husband can't. This is why it's important that each one of us work on ourselves. Because your complimentary ain't going to be able to answer for you. Your husband or your wife ain't going to be able to answer for you. You must answer for yourself. You're going to have to confess your own. Because there's some things that you're going to have to confess that they don't even know about. Because you ain't told them. Right? Right. Through sin and disobedience, every nation, peep this, because our people, I want to say they the only, now we suffered slavery the worst. We suffered it the worst. Yes, we did. Well, as far as we know, because when you look at the way slavery is being done right now with human trafficking and child trafficking and organ harvesting and locking our brothers up from looking at their 4th grade test scores. That's still slavery, y'all. Slavery ain't went nowhere. We ain't stopped it. It ain't gonna stop till we stop it. And we ain't gonna be able to stop it until we join in the affairs of men and sit up there in the seats where we need to sit to change these things. Or they're gonna continue to go. Because in all actuality, the slave trade is still popping off right now as we speak. It's wrong. Through sin and disobedience, every nation has suffered slavery due to the fact that they honored not the creed and principles of their forefathers. You ran behind gods of Europe you knew nothing about. You ran behind gods of Europe which you knew nothing about. So, through sin and disobedience, I told you your biggest sin was disconnected from your forefathers and foremothers, not honoring them. But you'll go out and honor anything that looks nothing like your forefathers and foremothers, the ones that brought this here, the ones that were already here before you got here and anybody else showed up. You diss them. You cut their head off so you can give the next man his praise. Islam? This is why. That is why the nationality of the Moors was taken away from them in 1774. And the word Negro, black and colored, African American, whatever other label they're going to give you, non-binary, whatever they're going to give you next, to continue to disconnect you from your forefathers, where there is no umbilical cord, there is no lifeline. Because when they telling you non-binary, that means you're not bound to any, you don't have any connections or nothing. That's sad that you would even want that to be a name for you. I'm who I am. Islam, I'm who I am. Islam to all that are joining the live. This is why the nationality was taken away from us in 1774, and the word Negro, black, and colored was given to the Asiatics of America, who were of Moorish descent, because they honored not the principles of their mother and father, and straight after the gods of Europe, who they knew nothing of. Ain't know nothing about them. And then you let them come and give them to you in a history book. You didn't even go and make sure that that was real. Islam, Israel to real. Israel to real. Islam. You didn't even go check on that. You have allowed them to do anything to you. And the more I look at it, being here, watching how these places were set up, some of them weren't founded till the 1800s, some 1700s. But let me tell you something. We was here before any of that popped off, before any of these people came. We was already here. I come from the Anasazi people. Call it what you want. The cliff, the people that built their homes in the cliffs. I'm born in Pueblo, Colorado. I am one of them. I'm an Aztec. I'm an Olmec. My children are all connection. That's why even when I read from this Circle 7 and I'm reading about the Dominion and I'm seeing myself and I see my family and I'm watching and I'm looking at my features and all of that. There's no denying it. Ain't no probably. One of my cousins gonna say, well, possibly. She came out and tried to say possibly I was. First of all, you don't know. Ain't no possibly. Because I'm doing the work on myself to get to know myself. Facts. Maybe you do the work on yourself, get to know yourself, then you could come with the facts for yourself and where you come from and who you are. Like I said, it's about who I am and whose I am. Just because my name is Latae don't mean nothing. That don't mean I know myself. I'm just learning myself maybe 6 years ago. Just really start tapping in. I give it 8 good years that I first started. But really started digging deep about 6 years ago. And to really find out who I am has been mind-blowing. But you got to trace yourself back. Masterminds trace themselves back so they know. So can't nobody come thinking for them. My soul, I'm cool. Because the soul got thinking, understanding, reasoning, and willing. Those are the actions of the soul, not the essence of the soul. Are you thinking for yourself? Do you even understand what you're thinking? Because if you don't understand what you're thinking, your reasoning and willing's completely off. And that's what the soul's actions are. We have to come up out of this mind state of enslavement, of keeping wanting to hold on to stuff. Because you can see this with the celebrities. They want to hold on. Kendrick came, he coming. My brother's standing on his square. He's coming. Now let's see. Are you gonna be able to hold on to your stuff? Because the messenger comes. Nobody says how the messenger gonna show up though. You might not like the message because truth hurts everybody. That's why people run from the truth. You can tell people can't even stay, their attention span can't even stay on these videos long enough to hear the truth. Because the truth irritates their demons. So they run from it. Because this over here is about accountability. You might think you coming on here to be entertained. A lot of people, because that's all they want to do is be entertained. Most of our people, that's all they want is to be entertained. That's why they looking at this Kendrick and Drake thing. It's just straight entertainment. It's long. Thank you so much. Looking at it as straight entertainment and not digging deeper to find out all the connections that this is even having to everything. To the wars that are going on, to what's going on in government. If you're listening and if you've done any kind of, this is art, y'all. This is the way art is exposed. And as an artist, we are all sensitive about our stuff. We are all sensitive. Hello, hello, Miss Universe, Islam, Islam. We are all sensitive about our stuff, y'all. I'm proud to be me. I am what my forefathers and mothers were without a doubt or contradiction. Exactly, and you should be proud to be you. Not just because you got your mother and father, but what about who came before them and who came before them? If all you can think about is your mother and father right now, that's sad. That means you don't have no respect for your ancestors. You ain't giving no kind of regards and honors to your forefathers and foremothers, that without them, none of this would be here. Nobody could have came and colonized anything. Nobody could have came and colonized anything. I love that I live where I love Atlanta, Georgia. Don't get it twisted. But I'm going to tell y'all one thing. When Kendrick said what he said in that song, let me put y'all on game about how all this stuff started from even back then. It's the truth, and it's even going on in 2024. Go to Atlanta right now. Everybody's a rapper. Everybody in the studio. Everybody a celebrity hairstylist. Everybody a celebrity makeup artist. Everybody's a celebrity something. When you talk about colonization, I ain't never seen it so high before in my life. And it's major there. As much as people, oh, it's the Black Mecca. It is, but it's still the mind state. It's still enslaved. It hasn't changed. It just became shinier. It's become prettier. They just got on red bottoms. All it is high-paid slavery. Jay-Z said, you're still a nigga. You're still one. No matter how you dress it up, how many clothes you put on, how much makeup you beat yourself, contour your face till you looking like you are not an Asiatic. You're looking straight like a European woman. You have totally you're disconnecting yourself more and more. And now we watching our sisters over in these other countries doing the same thing. They all look like they came off of Love and Hip Hop. Nobody, my sisters of Nigerian, I'm not seeing them dressed like they used to. Now everybody looks like they coming off the season of Love and Hip Hop. Where's the modesty, ladies? But you want all this respect from these men, and you want all these things from these men, but you ain't even doing it yourself. You're not working on yourself. You're letting yourself go. We all have to get in alignment with this thing, because I'm telling y'all, these cicadas, let me tell y'all a little bit about these cicadas and what it means, because all of this is meaning this to you too, you guys. All of this is meaning to you too. You might not think, but let me tell you something. If you laid us down on this ground, the way our blood flows through these veins and the way we're built, we're going to look like a tree. We're going to look like the earth. We're going to look like the earth. So if you don't think you're connected to this earth, well, baby, I sure feel sorry for you for whatever's coming. For whatever's coming. Because as Mother Earth, I'm totally connected. So now when I'm understanding these cicadas and their immortality and rebirth, and in Chinese mythology, a symbol of resurrection, newly hatched insects drop from the branches to burrow into the ground where they nourish themselves on tree roots for as long as 17 years before emerging into the sunlight. Something is about to happen that hasn't happened since 1803, y'all. Since 1803, this is the last time this happened, in 1803. So I watched a podcast last night on Kwame Sunhorse, and he was giving so much on this, and I had to go and look into it. Because there are two brides, as I was telling y'all, and they have different life cycles, and every 221 years, these two broods come up. Well, right now, you're about to see trillions of them. They're nothing like in 1803, because in 1803, they only covered a 5-mile radius. But in 2024, they're going to be going all the way from the south all the way up to the east. Trillions of them. These are not locusts. They ain't bothering you. No, they're not. They're coming to do the duty. And they're coming to show you about what immortality is and what rebirth is and what transformation is. Because that's what this is about. It's about the transforming of your mind, the unfolding into perfected man. But these layers have to be peeled back. These layers have to be peeled back from you. They have to be. And they're going to be, whether you want them to be or not. Allah is going to peel these layers off of each and every person. And for those that just don't like what they're seeing and don't want to adjust to realign themselves into this, you doomed your own self to your own hell. Because God never made a heaven nor a hell nor earth. He never did that. Heaven is not above, hell is not below, and earth is not around. All of it is within you. You are the creator of your own stuff, your own heaven and your own hell. It's your thoughts. It's the way you think of yourself. So if you have disconnected yourself from your forefathers and foremothers, and you just rather not deal with them because you would rather bleach your skin to be lighter, you would rather change yourself up, close your gaps in your mouth, change everything so you don't even look like them anymore. Then when the things go down, and when that 13th hour hit, and everything goes to shambles, and you're looking for that Savior. You're looking for that Savior outside of yourself. You're not going to find him. Because the whole time he's been within you. The whole time this energy has been within you. You have to find this. You have to fix it. Nobody's going to fix it. You can't go in any church to fix it. No pastor can fix it. This is self-work. That's what they're not telling you. They want you to keep coming to give them your dollars. They want you to keep coming for that because they're not telling it. You're still going to have to do the work. Nobody's coming to save you. You got to do the work for yourself. These cicadas are showing us that. The eclipses, the northern lights, all of these things are reasons. Our ancestors paid attention to all of this stuff. They were not walking around like this on a phone, on a device. They were looking up. They was paying attention. Okay, wait. That's why when I look up and I go, them clouds ain't real. But everybody else is so caught up in their devices, they don't know whether that cloud was there or not. But I know that cloud did not shape shift for nothing. And as a child, I can look at a cloud and say, oh, look at the dinosaur. And by the time I done turned around, it done turned into an elephant. These clouds are just sitting there. Like somebody just here. Here you go. And because so many people are so asleep for real, they don't even notice that the sky isn't the same. So when the movie Don't Look Up came out, fools was really walking around talking about Don't Look Up. Instead of doing the opposite. That just tells you how messed up our people are. And how they're so quick to fall for anything that somebody tells them to do. Even when Donald Trump said, well, if we took a little bit of bleach for that thing, I'm not a doctor or nothing, but we took a little bit. These fools went out and did that, but you hate the man so much. I was so confused. I just be so conflicted with my people so much. Because all they do is this, and it don't, a lot of times it never makes sense. It's never coming together correctly. So we got to save ourselves, y'all. The prophet brought us everything to save a nation. He said, now save yourself. You have to save yourself. Save yourself from yourself. How about that? Save yourself from yourself. Because as I said, nobody's coming to save you, people. This is all self-work, and this is what they have not been telling you. That you're going to have to save yourself. That you're going to have to do this work on yourself. You're going to have to. If you want to know why all the pain and misery of slavery, our people, why Jesus didn't come get us? Well, why God didn't come get us? Your mind state has to change, because you have to find that God within you to know you're free. And with this 221-year cycle of these cicadas coming back, as I said, that's a 5. That's my number. That's freedom. 5 is a number of freedom. Do you want to be free, or you just love being in shackles and chains all the time? Do you love being free? Because nobody's giving you freedom papers, y'all. Y'all got to get out here and do this work. We come to tell you you're not Black, Negro, colored, or Ethiopian. And we could give you the formula of what it takes not to be Black, Negro, or colored. And so that the nations of the world know who you are. Where the government in which you live knows who you are. But they're never going to know who you are just because you on this screen talking about that's who you are. And because that's what you typed on your what do you call it? Your profile pic. That you're a Baya, L, a Ali, a A, a Day. That don't mean nothing. Who's supposed to know that? But the people that come on there to see you. How will your nation, how will the nation in which you live, the government in which you live, and the nations of the earth even know who you are? Because then you still playing and you still don't know who you are. Because if you have not done the things correctly, because the Prophet Noble Drew Ali told us we had to follow the laws of the government. Because by being a Moorish American, we are a part and parcel of the government. So don't you have to have a driver's license, government? Don't you got to do certain things in the government to do what you're supposed to do? That's the only way they're going to know. This is ours. Our forefathers and foremothers responsible for it all. You got to remember, as Sister Sheila Seabury said, reconstruction. Reconstruction. See, we have instructions. The divine instructions from the Holy Prophet. So when you instruct within, you can construct from outside, right? Construct. Reconstruction. So that means somebody went in and changed something, right? Somebody went in and changed something. But that Constitution was here way before any of those people came. Look at when these places were founded, 1776, 1886. We was here way before that. Before 1492, go before 1492. And then just keep tracing yourself back. Just keep tracing yourself back. Because then you'll see you was here before they even decided what they decided they founded. Because they not like us. But the prophets told you, a heathen will come from afar. Many texts tell you this. A heathen gonna come. A heathen. I call them the agents, the gatekeepers, as the industry calls them. The heathens will come from afar. And they will take everything from you within one short hour. Within one short hour, you'll lose it all. We have allowed everybody to come on our land. They not like us. Because everywhere I see when I walk in buildings, they came as an immigrant from here and to get a better life. They came from I was here already. I was here. My mama was here. My granddad, everybody was here. Nobody migrated from nowhere. Nobody. 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 That's a lie. That story they told, that's a lie. I was here already. That's why we only in 2024, because that's as far back as they can go if y'all ain't paying attention. That's only the amount of time they can give themselves. We are ancient. I've been here many times. I know that might sound spooky to y'all. Sister, a heathen is one who doesn't submit to organized religious organization. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Bruh, heathens came from afar and took this land. So whatever you talking about, not sure what you're talking about, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking more science. I'm coming out of the circle 7. I ain't talking about none of that. Y'all trying to free somebody by a piece of paper. We're already free. We are already free. If you need somebody to give you a piece of paper, you still a slave. You still a slave. You got to pay all this money, talk about claiming your nationality. You're a slave. You're a slave. And you're doing your people wrong because you're misleading them. You're doing no different than these colonizers did. You're being no different than the heathen. And if you would understand these lessons, you would understand the prophet said that in these lessons. You can agree to disagree all you want, but until you get these lessons, I'm in the temple. I'm in these lessons. I study my lessons every day. Every day. So I'm not doing this because I'm trying to one up or make nobody think I'm smart. I did what I was supposed to do to claim my nationality. It's on all my documents. So regardless of what goes down. And when I went to the court, I specifically put the reason why I was changing it. That's in ink. It's signed. The pen is mightier than the sword, but the tongue is mightier than them both. I was born free. That's my birthright. I don't need nobody to come give me no freedom papers. Being a Moor doesn't make you free. And if that were so, more Moors would be free. Bruh, that's not, but you got to be free up here first. Your mind state has to be free. Your mind state has to be free. That's where the freedom starts. That's where the freedom starts. It starts in your mind. This is a mind state. Come to class. Come to Sunday school. I can teach you this. The prophet puts it in literature, 101s, and all of that. This is a mind state. You've continued to put yourself in a slave mind state. You call yourself black, Negro, colored, African American, whatever else you gonna let them call you, Ethiopian, you are alluding to names of slavery. And it takes you out. I just gave y'all the definition of black, so I don't care. Because, see, you got these Moors that want to go do stuff in the mess up in law and then go stand before a judge and say, but I'm sovereign. No, you can only be a sovereign nation. You can never be a sovereign person. Because we serve a sovereign God. We serve a sovereign God. You are free once you go within and learn the true you. That's what I'm talking about. You got to learn who you are and whose you are first to be free. Because I'm not waiting for no person to come tell me I'm free. I'm not over here talking about, oh, they against me, the man. No, he's not. Because when I show up like this, whether it's in a court, wherever it is, I'm respected. I'm in Colorado and they know what this is. When I go in the courtroom, they don't never ask me to take my turban off. Well, that's you and several more. That's why the prophet said, he said, many will be called. They say it anywhere. Many called, but few are chosen. The prophet said, there will be many. He said, but only a few will be saved, and I will still have fingers on my hand to count. So we talking about within, bruh. In Montana, no matter where you are, we're talking about within. This has to start within. They ain't got nothing to do with that because it's a few of y'all that don't think that way. Well, that's because your thinking is off. And I just told you that means you're not attached to the soul. The soul has actions, thinking, understanding, reasoning, and willing. They're the actions of the soul, not the essence of the soul. No one can be against you once you know who you are. Islam. And that's real. We born free. We're born free. I'm a Moor and I'm free. Islam, Israel to real Islam. That's right. I'm a Moor and I'm free. Now, I didn't nobody come tell me that. I just know actually you go back in history, we Moors. This was my name before slavery. This was the name of my ancestors before slavery popped off. Bey, Ali, They really take you back to telling you who them real tribes was. Because they switch it up all the time on us. They switch it up all the time on us. So how will you recognize your family? How you gonna recognize a king? Because from my understanding, even when these FEMA camps come up, we gonna see turbans and fezzes in them bad boys. So everybody ain't on the same road, but you need to get on it. I'm on the straight and narrow. Y'all can have that wide road, and that's the problem. Do you know that behind the prophet is one straight and narrow road, and there's another road that's real wide that everybody want to get on? I'm not trying to be on that road. I'm doing the work. This takes work. So nobody can come and just hand me and tell me anything. This takes work. This the real work. This standing on business. Stand on your square is standing on business. But this ain't gonna stop. This slavery stuff is never gonna stop till we stop it. Until we stop it. And that's getting into the affairs of men. And that's going into the mind of fleshless things. Where things are made of thought and where we build up character. We gotta go within, y'all. We gotta stop with this waiting for somebody to come fix it for us. We are responsible to fix this. If we don't fix it, we're gonna allow our children and grandchildren to be just that. This time they'll be back in chains. Because as I said, slavery's not over, y'all. You have human trafficking, child trafficking, organ harvesting, CP, you name it. They still trafficking on the same level, people. And until we get our butts in position and get in these positions to be mayors, governors, senators, sheriffs, all of these things, until we learn the civics, our civic duty, our social duty, we're going to continue to be treated like this. So I don't care what group of Moors you belong to. Until we change our mind state and come together in unity, it's going to continue to be the way it is. But that's why I say they not like us. Because there's true Moors. The prophet even made a distinction. You got faithful Moors, you got true Moors, you got Moors, you got dear Moors. You got different sectors of Moors. Everybody ain't going to be a faithful Moor. Everybody's not going to be a true Moor. Some people just Moors. You're right. That's why he distinctively made distinction. The prophet was intentional. He didn't miss a beat. As much as people try to be out here doing what they doing, finaggling and stuff, the prophet did not, let me tell you, he didn't miss nothing. Islam, sis, Islam, Sheikh is Bashira. He didn't miss nothing. He was intentional about everything. Because even when he thought, y'all don't even understand the degrees to these pictures or none of that, he wasn't here hiding his hand. And niggas is always hiding their hand. Always hiding their hand somewhere. In a pocket or something. He didn't hide his hand. You pay attention to these pictures, it probably about 3 good faithful Moors in the picture. Maybe 3. So why everybody trying to give all these accolades and this? Maybe 3. Because he was so intentional, even on hand movement and hand placement. The way you were standing and everything. I love Prophet Noble Drew Ali, the founder. I love the reincarnated prophet. I love all the prophets that came. All the prophets that came. Because they came and brought us a mighty message. And it's your fault if you don't take this knowledge and do something with it. It's your fault if you fall on your face. It's your fault if you left on that other rim of that chaos. Because I'm going to keep saying it. It's on one side or the other side. And we ain't concerned with the other side in my Cat Williams voice. We is not concerned with the other side because they not like us. Some people just do this stuff because they want to be seen and they do it for show and they do it for money. I just want my people to be free. I want them to know they have to be free here. I'm doing the work. I've been doing the work. My work has not stopped. So I'm still going within, still freeing myself, still peeling back layers, Still peeling back some layers that I still need to deal with. Still learning my lower self even more and more. So when I tell you guys, this is not, this ain't for play. People play with this information. People play with the prophet. But as soon as you start seeing this fire and brimstone, Moorish American is the nationals of this land. Islam is real to real. Islam. But I guess they gotta wait for the fire and brimstone to come. Cause it's coming, it's falling out the sky. You see flood, you see so much stuff. They trying to control the weather, and at the same time, Mother Nature, mama, it's like no. Cause guess what? I could do one for you. I could do 10 up on you. You don't realize the energies we carry. We are our ancestors' return. So when we're getting all agitated, things are going, we're the ones controlling this thing. The Great Awakening is happening. So as much as man thinks he can change the descendant nature, he cannot. We in this thing. We doing this thing. And I'm willing to give my life as a willing sacrifice to make sure not only my children are free, but all children are free. All children are free. We have to learn to love instead of hate. We have to learn to love instead of hate. Even through all this going on, whether it's beef in the industry, the war going on, they tearing up the food, they passing bills on you left and right, they still don't include you. Until we change our minds and until we change the things we're doing and until we get in alignment with Allah and get in alignment with our higher self, this will continue to be the issue. We let heathens come before and take our stuff. We can't let it happen again. Our brothers and sisters are actually here to help us. We're supposed to learn languages, y'all. We're supposed to. Allah said learn 5 languages and how to type right too. So each and every one of us needs a Spanish class. Because you need to know how to communicate with your brothers and sisters. I just told y'all when I read from that chapter that the Asians came, our brothers and sisters from Asia and the Holy Lands. Well, how if all these people spoke different languages because we all knew how to speak different languages? So that we can always recognize one another. My grandfather did that. He would go to powwows all throughout the United States. He would go so he could always know where our family was. Always know where they belong. Time to get back to that. Especially Moorish Latin. You better come through, Israel to real. I hope I'm following you. Come through. Israel to real over here on TikTok said, especially Moorish Latin. Now you better come on and give me some knowledge. This is what I'm saying. Each one teach one. And we so quick to diss somebody because they ain't a part of what we a part of. Nah. Israel to Israel, we gotta link up. Hey, uplift and follow humanity. The only way of dealing with this is to raise the consciousness of all humankind in our time. Islam. We do have to raise the consciousness. It's so important. So important. And I'm getting goosebumps right now because confirmation is so dope. I got 7 on TikTok and 1 on Facebook. You see that 8 vibration? That as above, so below. When I tell y'all this energy be working and it don't be playing. The energy be working. Pay attention to the cosmos, y'all. I'm telling y'all got to get in tune with some things. Get in tune with yourself. Go outside and ground. Tonight we might see these northern lights. I'm going to be outside even though it's kind of cold and they got the fake clouds up in the sky out here. Because they don't want you to see the sky out here. They refuse. Because I told y'all people, all they walk around and say is, oh, they don't care about that. Or they'll say, I stopped for a brother the other day because he was crossing the street on his bike. And my mom said, oh, don't do that. You could go. I said, Mom, I was just being courteous because the man might not. He probably going to think you going to hit him. When I tell y'all, I have never been in a place where everything is thought to be so negative. Everything. Like, gee, y'all don't care, this and that. And I'm like, I'm doing my father's work. I'm supposed to love mankind. And nobody wants to give me that here. They're like, oh no, they don't care about. Oh no, don't do. You need to care. You need to learn to care. Because in a minute, you ain't gonna have nothing either. Why you don't care? What I'm saying is, there is no respect to person for the things that are about to happen. There has to be a shift in the atmosphere that no one is paying attention to. Mama Witherspoon, and it is. I'm telling you, the shift been happening. Since the last time I went to the Stone Mountain with that strawberry moon, I'm telling y'all, this shift's been going on. I've been feeling the shifts. I didn't just feel them when the eclipse popped off. I've been feeling these shifts for a while. Since I actually got involved in the conscious community in Atlanta, being in the West End with Tassili and the Pills and all of, let me tell y'all something. Didn't even realize how connected I needed to be until I got around them. Once I started being connected, grounded, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. This is different. Downloads be coming. Like, I'm telling you, being in tune with the cosmos and the atmosphere and the earth, it opens up so much for you. So much that you are missing out on due to your ignorance. To your own ignorance, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Like, you're missing out. It's beautiful. Yes, it's been for some time, but no one is paying attention to. Yes, nobody is. They think this is a game. And I just feel like when they, I'm not trying to laugh. Sometimes you got to laugh at the calamities in the world. Sometimes you have to. But like I said, when you start not seeing those people that you've seen, and then you start not seeing, or maybe you don't recognize them. Because I've been noticing, I'm like, I don't think people recognize me like that. Now I'm understanding what that means, because eventually it's going to be like that. These two shifts, this shift is happening where it's separating. It is separating. And it's sad because there's too many non-believers in the world. Too many non-believers. They don't believe this is happening. But when it do, every knee will bow and every tongue will confess. When I tell you, this is popping off. And these cicadas are coming to show you some true transformation. You better pay attention to how they move, how they work. Apply it to yourself, man. I'm trying to tell y'all, this is not a game. This is not a game, because when you see this in the sky, please understand. Please understand. These are the 5 loaves. Was it the 2 fish and the 5 loaves? Understand that's going to come in the sky and you're going to see it. It's a wrap. That circle is closed. And it's not going to reopen. So to all my Moorish Shamir, every tongue must confess. Yes, Islam, Israel to real. Islam, definitely. Definitely. Every tongue must confess its own fig tree. Every tongue must confess its own fig tree. Come through, Israel to Israel. This is where we at, y'all. This is where we're at. And we got to do better. Because as he just said, every tongue must confess its own fig tree. Each and every one of us are responsible for ourselves. Each and every one of us is responsible for ourselves. We got to get it together. You should have got it together. Like I said, stay off that wide road. You so used to the wide road. We're going to read some words from the prophet and close this meeting out. To the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Islam. This is the instruction from your prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Be faithful unto your forefathers, divine and national creed. that you will be blessed for your good deeds that you sow in the flesh. Allah is the one that judges the world, and his judgment is now on. But the weak can comprehend it not. The end of time is drawing near, so says Allah to his divine prophet, I, Noble Drew Ali. And that is why many hearts have been turned to stone. Many have eyes to see, but cannot see. Ears to hear, but cannot hear. Least they will be confounded of their sin. These are the trying hours now, dear Moors, and every evil spirit is moving. And they are trying every weak mind to overthrow and drag out the true foundation that has been laid and to cause confusion in the minds of the ones that do believe. That just happened right here on this TikTok. Somebody trying to come in and throw confusion to the ones that do believe that we are free already. That don't nobody need to give us no freedom papers. That our birthright is freedom. Our vast estate has been returned to us. It's just whether you know what that vast estate looks like. Islam. These are the trying nows, dear Moore, and every weak mind, and they are trying every weak mind to overthrow and drag out the true foundation that has been laid, and to cause confusion in the minds of the ones that do believe. But if you have the true love of Allah and the spirit of your forefathers, come through. But if you have the true love of Allah, the true love of Allah, where is the nearest place you can meet Allah? In the heart. And it's closer than your jugular vein. Closer. So I ain't talking about this one. Closer than your jugular vein. It's the closest place you can meet Allah. So if you have true love of Allah and the spirit of your forefathers, you fear not what you hear or see, but will sacrifice the utmost of your very life to protect your movement and your profit. Watch your enemies, dear Moors. Your enemies are the ones that speak against your prophet and ridicule him to the very lowest, and the ones that speak against your divine and national principles of your temple. They not like us. I just told y'all that. They not like us. He just said that right there. Act accordingly, and Allah will bless you for your good work. Peace. Your divine prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Islam. So, like I said, they not like us. Yep, that's why I step on them and let my words cut like a sword. Islam, Israel to real. You know what? Islam. That's what I'm talking about. He said, that's right, Bashira, right? He said, yep, that's why I step on them and let my words cut like a sword. And you ain't even got to cuss nobody out. Because when you understand who you are and whose you are, you ain't got to be radical. You ain't got to do none of that. Your words, and it's the love that comes out the words. And I think that's what cuts the people the most, because it's the love and the compassion we have behind the word. We're not doing it to be radical and mean to you at all. But Islam to that. Islam. Oh, y'all got me tonight. I just love it. TikTok, y'all have Israel to Israel. TikTok, y'all been in the business. Facebook, y'all been in the business. YouTube, y'all been in the business tonight. And I'm so grateful for each and every one of y'all coming on here. Islam, I want to read this. The divine warning by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Prophet warns all Muslims, governors, ordered to read proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical, agitating speeches while at work and in their homes or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We are for love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. Peep what that's saying. Yep, that's why. Okay. Peep what that's saying. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. Those are unjust deeds when you're doing that, when you lying to the people, when you leading them astray, when you doing all this Fadago paperwork stuff. You're misleading the people, and your reward will come from Allah for your unjust deeds, because you're not supposed to take these lessons and mistreat them and do what you want with them, because you're holding malicious feelings against the prophet and the temple when you do that. And you can't do that. You cannot do that. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and button, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet Noble Drew Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways by the order of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. So prophets only came to save us from the hand of the unjust, to save us not only from ourselves. We were following behind the gods of Europe, which we knew nothing about. And now in Europe, we were there too. So we're not talking. That's why I say y'all can't always be talking about because somebody looks like you, that makes it solid. No. Jesus' own people put him on that cross. You got good Moors, you got dirty Moors. You got faithful Moors, you just got Moors. Period. And this has always been going on. Look at our people today. Still do the same thing to each other. The women will tear apart the families. The brothers will tear apart the families. I'm blaming everybody for it. Women and men. Because it should be no reason why women are around here with being single mothers or whatever they want to call themselves. When a lot of them are bringing it upon themselves, that needs to stop. That's not who we are as a nation. Yep, I can't wait to be a mufti. I'm ready to put my life on the line. Come through, Israel to it. Come through, Israel to real Islam. See, that's what I'm talking about. We need active Moors, not passive Moors. We don't need Moors that are afraid to stand up and speak their truth. That's why I love Kendrick. Speak your truth, bruh, because it's true. I've been in the industry. Everything he's saying, he's telling the truth. They still using my people in Atlanta, Georgia to come up off of. Everybody's a rapper and can't rap. Half people ain't got no talent, but they don't care. Give them a deal anyway. Still pulling off the sweats of our backs, y'all. Still. So when people are standing on their truth and telling their truth, don't deny them that, because you don't know. And I can't stand people that ain't never been a part of the industry speaking on what goes on. Because if I would tell the deep, dark secrets, boy, y'all would fall out. And I've told a lot of people some stuff, and they just seeing it come to fruition. They didn't believe me before, but I've been in this thing. I have seen, heard some real crazy things. I haven't done nothing crazy because I'm not willing to give my soul up for none of that nonsense. So y'all, start listening to wordplay. This beef was really supposed to be art because I come from beef of hip hop. LL, Kumo D, all kind of beefs. Well, we're not going to call them beefs. We're going to call them battles. That's what we will call those. Now, if this is a beef, I don't know. But when I'm listening to what Kendrick is really saying deeper than just the surface level, because everybody loves their surface level dwellings. But when you dig deeper, like this cicada, he comes up just long enough, but he puts himself under the ground for 17 years to eat off of that sap of that tree. Do you understand? So ain't no surface level to the cicada. He trying to come back and tell you that too. Stop surface leveling things in your life. Stop allowing everything to be so surface level. Dig deeper. Your brain, that's why I got all these rockiness to it. You can go deeper. It's not smooth. But getting up under them crevices and digging up under for them treasures. That's where Allah's treasures lie. So y'all got to learn how to dig deeper and stop with the surface stuff. Y'all got to realize a lot how all this stuff has been happening in the industry, and it's been true. And it can happen to yours too. Our babies, y'all, our babies are on the line. Y'all people put y'all children all over social media. Your babies are on the line. And they're not doing nothing but doing this more and more through these platforms. That's why you got to pay attention to what's going on everywhere. You got to keep your head on a swivel. Because if you don't, you miss it. Oh, now somebody's trying to sign your daughter to a record deal and you didn't know they were selling her to be trafficked off in a sex trade. She wasn't getting no deal. Don't miss it because you think you just know. Or you don't want to pay attention to it. You better pay attention. Because everybody's life is on the line right now. Everybody's life is on the line. Everybody's character is on the line. And it is what it is. All right, y'all. So we coming back Sunday. And we going to come back for Sunday school. I would love for you guys to be involved in Sunday school. But Sunday school, we're going to talk more on this. I want to talk about some things when it comes to our civic duties and a civic guide that places us somewhere. I want to start Sunday school on that note. So we're understanding what these positions and power look like for us. And how we will be able, by going into these places and sitting in the affairs of men, how now we have the power to help change whatever we need to change for our people. We ain't got to wait or pay someone off. Oh, he a high pay. Let's pay him off to do. No, we need to go do the work ourselves. All right. So Islam. All meetings are to be open and closed promptly according to the Circle 7 and love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Can we all stand as we recite our Moorish American prayer? We're going to turn to the east. It's going within. Symbolically to the east is what I'm doing. We're going to go within. We put up 5 fingers on the left, 2 on the right. We don't separate. We keep it together. Keep it together. The family stays together. Standing on that 7 solid. With our heels touching one another. Islam, Israel, to real. I'm going to follow you soon. Islam. Allah, the Father of the universe. The Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Amen. Islam, y'all have an amazing rest of your Friday. Wherever your Friday is going to consist of, please follow. I will follow you back. Let's build this thing. We solution-based around here. We are solution-based. It's all about solutions. And that's all I'm on. Don't forget about Unity Day. July the 20th in ATL is Unity Day in the ATL. The Drew Ali experience is bringing all of us together. Whether you're a Hebrew Israelite, a Nation of Islam, Baptist, Moorish American, I don't care. If you about solutions and ready to do this thing and get our people to the next level of some real stuff, we're going to have people there with miniature gardens that you can take home with you. Like, it's going to be some major stuff. Teaching you some real good yoga practices to keep you young and vibrant. Islam, so y'all look out for Unity Day in the ATL. We're going to have so much going on. Great speakers. We're looking for vendors, speakers. If you want to perform, come to Atlanta. We're going to give you all the love you need. Hit me up. Peace and love. Y'all have a great Friday. She's over here with me. I got a phone. What did you say, that? Islam, y'all. I got much love for each and every one of y'all. Thank y'all.